Jesper, congratulations on the win. Can you just talk about your initial thoughts of what you got of a very resounding result?
Yeah, of course, the result was great. I think the last 30 minutes of the first half was some of the best we played for a long time. I think that we had the flow, we had the quality and the timing in the play. I think that we came around them and behind them, as we talked about, and I think that we played very well. In the second half, we came out and got a lot of echoes. But no, but then they started go up and press a little bit higher, and then we played very central and backwards where the pitch opened up, and we could have played maybe a little more on the outside. And we were too spread on the pitch, which opened up space for them, and it was what it was. Joey had a good save, could have been 2-1, and that could have opened up the game. Also made us a little bit more nervous maybe, but apart from that, I think that we also were all the time able to create opportunities, and with a little luck and maybe a little fortune with some calls, we could have killed off the game earlier. And we saw after the 3-0, it was like the players got second wind, and then they could start be more aggressive again. It was like we were a little bit nervous, got a little bit out of the game, got a little bit out of hand, but after the 3-0 goal, it was very good.
You talked about being able to play wide in the second half. It maybe wasn't as functional, but in the first half, it was very much to your benefit. A lot of switches of play. Was that something that you kind of targeted or you saw in SKC, especially on the rights, or I guess on your left side?
But we of course knew that if we could get over the middle and we can have Jaden one-on-one, it could be a good option for us to attack that way around. We also had Sabi coming in and Eddie attacking the second phase very well. So I think we had some options. We broke behind them, and just a little bit more quality in the crosses and a little bit more quality in the finishing. I could have wanted, but apart from that, I think the first half was very, very good, and we also played with the right pace against the ball. I think that was nice to see, and JC played a very good game, I think, in today.
I was about to ask you about JC. Can you just talk a little bit more about what you've seen from him over the last few weeks, especially kind of culminating into his performance today?
Yeah, but it's JC has been a little bit in and out. He's not been all the time a regular starter, but he's always in the mix. Had a little difficult week last week. We took him out in the break in Colorado. Didn't play much against Houston, and didn't play at all against San Diego. But we knew that today was a good game for him. We need him in behind the midfield pressure, because we have Sebastian and Kubas in there, and he's very good at opening up and play forward from there. If he has fast players in front of him, he will find them. So I think that it was a very good performance from him. Of course, it's never easy when you don't know if you're starting or not, and you're a little bit in and out. But I think that he was very good today.
Yes, we're building on that. It seemed like JC, I don't know if you gave the specific instruction, but it seemed like JC was more attack-minded and crashing the box and being in those opportunities where he got his goal, and it seemed like he was much more involved in that final third. Was that something that you kind of put a task towards him?
Yeah, it has been, and it is. He has to be. It was the same with Pedro. We need one thing is the attacking first line is today obviously mostly Brian and Sabi when we're talking about arriving in the box. But the second line coming in the box, we need to have the timing, and JC has to be aggressive in that role, because he's the next in line. Sometimes Sebastian makes it, but sometimes Sebastian also very deep in our build-up, so he doesn't make it. But then we definitely need JC to have it, and we played Jaden wide, so he is often the provider of the crosses. Otherwise, of course, he should also be, but JC has to be a guy that has the right timing in the second line coming in.
And then I wanted to talk about Jaden as well, because it seemed like he learned his lesson from LA Galaxy, where he was getting some calls against him, and we could see a little bit of frustration from him, but he kept his head, and throughout the match, it didn't seem like he was getting affected by the referees' calls against him.
No, I think that he kept his composure well. I think, there was a couple of situations where he could have definitely got a call for him, and there were a couple of situations where he shouldn't have been called against. It happens in football, and that's what it is. But I think we have seen him earlier on not being able to control his temper in situations like this, and I think that he did very well in this game. It's something that he has to learn. He has great fire inside of him, but it has to come out the right way. In Galaxy, it didn't. So it's it's okay to make a mistake or two sometimes, but you have to learn from it. So, and I think that since then he looked a little bit more composed and not just bringing all his emotions out in the wrong way.
Jesper, this is another kind of milestone game in that there are now 10 games left on the season. What do you make of the way your team's grown this season and where they're at right now?
Yeah, right now we can obviously see that we have impactful players coming back and has been back, but also right now is a tricky part of the season because we are in a good spot, but we also used a lot of energy so far. Played 35 games and players need also to now they'll get a week off because they need a break, and also mentally there's been so much travel. Some of them have played Gold Cup, some of them have played in Austin this midweek, so they need some time off also. So I think this game has all the time been a game where we looked to get the last bit of power exposure out of the players, and then I hope that we can come back and finish the season strong, because I think the players have been good throughout the season and been doing over what you could normally expect. So I think that now it's a good time just to get a little bit of rest and then come back fresh, and then we're ready to really attack the last bit of the season. I think 10 games left, and we don't play in the Leagues Cup, so we have a little bit of time also now to train, and maybe the whole secret has been that we've not been training. So I don't know. We have to figure out when we get into the last part of the season. Yeah.
What's your message as you say goodbye to the players tonight and hopefully don't talk to them much over the next week?
No, I won't talk to them next week. They don't need to hear my voice anymore at the moment. I think they got enough because the last many weeks we have been training more in the room watching video than on the pitch. So my message will be remember to do your homework and enjoy a little bit time off with hopefully the people you want to be together with the most. So yeah, that would be my message.
Yeah, Jesper, this was the first match since losing one of your most consistent and important players this season in Ranko, but it seemed like between Matias, Bjorn, and Tristan, they all kind of stepped up in this match, provided something a little bit different. Just maybe speak to what you saw from them and what you're going to continue to need from them the rest of the season, given Ranko's absence.
Yeah, but the last period, Matias and Bjorn has actually been our constants, right? So they played the last 5 or 6 games from the start, also against Valor, so they've been playing a lot here lately. So I think they are good players and they are experienced players, and they just has to deliver the quality that we know that they have. Bjorn has been very good since we started playing him, and of course it's really sad about Ranko because it is, but they just have to keep up in training sessions and just keep the quality up they're playing with, and then the connections between the players is every time very important, right? That's we're not just 11 players playing, but we are playing in between the 11 players, and that's very important. So the relations they build together, of course, is very important. We also have Eddie. Tate has been having a good season as well. Right now he was starting out, but we know that he can also be and will be an important player for us. But of course, with Sam and Ranko out, it's also maybe time to see if we need something extra. That's also how it is. But we will look into that. But I think that everybody is doing a great job.
How much more confident do you think your team can be with a keeper like Takaoka and Ned just making saves like he did tonight?
Yeah, it's important, right? Because Yohei had a little, every player makes mistakes, and when a keeper makes a mistake, then and nobody's there to save it for you. So he was a little bit down after the Galaxy and Colorado game, but yeah, I think he's over the course of the season, he has been very, very good. So and it just gives confidence to the players in front of him. He gives, the defense players have a lot of trust in him, and there's not happening a lot around him, So I think he gives a very calm and he has a very calm demeanor, and I think that it spreads to his teammates in front of him. So I think it's of course he's had a very good season, and I think he's obviously also had a very good experience this week playing the All-Star game. It's not something for everyone, so I think that it's I think he is at the moment has a lot of confidence, and I think it's something that we definitely need.
And as a coach, does it allow you to be more proactive offensively, especially when you have a confident keeper in net?
Yeah, of course it's always good to have. Hopefully we don't have to rely on our keeper all the time. That's very important. Some of the games we haven't been able, we didn't have to rely on Yohei. Today the game could have opened up if he hadn't had that save for 2-1. So I think that we know we have a good keeper, and it doesn't change our approach to how we play. We play generally, I think, very offensively, but it also sometimes it's about what your opponents allow you to do. That's it?
Thank you, Jesper.
Wow.
Enjoy your week off.
I will.